Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Roxy Glendon channel. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I want to thank everybody who subscribed to the channel. My first 100 subscribers. I really appreciate it. Appreciate the time you take out to listen. To the audio diary and anticipate the music that's to come real soon. Be on the lookout September 6th for the new Roxy Glendon Volume 1 project. Choir, orchestra, R&B, jazz, hip hop, rock, bass, all just a very smooth project. Very eclectic, but very well put together and organized. I wish I could jump all over the place and kind of be more organized with, this diary, but I kind of want to go off the top, like go off the head and just give it to you as I feel it and vibe with it, and think of it. So I want to jump to the year 2000, when I had another songwriting epiphany, when things kind of changed, another transition in my career. It was the year 2000. I had just came back from New York, like years of New York, where everything just wasn't working to my favor. Just not quite yet. I hooked up with this producer back in like 98 when I came back from New York. His name was Mark Taylor. He had produced Mark Morrison from the UK and that song Return of the Mac. You'll see Mark Taylor in the credits. Great entertainment. Hooked up with Mark. Mark was a very eclectic guy. He recognized certain things and certain qualities in producers and songwriters. He would bring out the best in you. And Mark Taylor, he just seen my ambition. I had crazy promo in the streets. I had crazy marketing in the streets. From my endeavors of selling drugs and just having a budget and just understanding what I was seeing and then applying that to my own independent label. So, but my music was terrible. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't put together properly. I tried. It just wasn't time yet. It wasn't, the time it wasn't ready. I was still in the microwave. So I hooked up with Mark Taylor. And Mark had some friends out in California that started a label called 1022. And Mopreme Shakur, Tupac's half brother, step brother. He was on a label, and I remember him flying in to see me and do some music with me. And like I said, things wasn't put together. So they gave me a recording budget, and they gave me an advance. It wasn't a lot, you know what I'm saying? But it was an effort, and it was appreciated because it was probably, I think, the first time someone giving me money in a real record contract. So, like I said, it wasn't a lot of money. To some people, it would be a lot of money, like $20,000. But to me, it just wasn't no money. And then they also paid for the budget for the studio with legendary Bernard Terry. So I've only heard of Bernard Terry. I've only heard of the great things he had done at the time. I didn't know who he was. I thought he was going to be like some young, from all his success, I assumed he was like some young gangster, you know what I'm saying? But he wasn't. He was this old, prestigious gentleman that understood sound and understood the needs of consumers. So I got in there with Bernard, and like I said, I was whack. I thought it was dope because of things I was listening to, and I was real. You know what I'm saying? Like everything about me is real, but I was whack. But once I got into the studio, a real studio, I immediately noticed how, as a songwriter, you can go to a terrible studio and you can make one song, and you can go to a very great studio and the same song you sung in that terrible studio will sound more incredible in a way better studio. So immediately, Bernard helped me understand writing and cadence and the equipment. And once, it didn't take long for me to understand that at all. And once I got real comfortable with a clearer mic, clearer sound, better sonics, better mixing, I started to gravitate towards, just being able to experiment with harmonies and melodies, things that are embedded in my DNA. But I didn't know that they existed. Because like I said, when you go to a terrible studio, you're going to get one sound. And when you go to a better studio, you're going to get a whole different kind of quality of sound. Not saying that good things can't come from the rough, because they can. Definitely great things can come from the rough. But to a person that knows music and it's embedded in them, I recommend, if you can get into a great quality studio with a great engineer, I recommend do so. So once I got into that studio with Bernard, I worked there for like 2 years, from 2000 to 2002. It was like a karate class of being a musician and a songwriter. Bernard worked with the Jacksons, he worked with Babyface, he worked with MC Breed. He put on so many different people with his sound. So it was a pleasure. He died last year, but it was a pleasure working with Bernard Terry. And as a songwriter, I would say that would be my second phase of having an epiphany that led me up to, what I'm going to tell you probably 3 or 4 more videos from now about, my first deal with Jimmy Iovine and Eminem and things of that nature. But if it wasn't for Bernard Terry, I don't think the stars would lined up. And if it wasn't for Mark Taylor, the stars wouldn't lined up. It seemed like everything that was on course for me to become successful, all I did was just speak of it and act, and then I acted on it. It all lined up. The tongue is powerful. It's a sword. So for all songwriters out there and producers and aspiring, poets, rappers, whatever you want to call it, speaking into existence and act on it. Even if you don't know where you're going, the effort you put into something good can only come from it. You put more energy into bad things, you're going to become the best at being bad. So it's great to, I wish somebody would have told me about the power of the tongue and real manifestation by just acting on the things that you want in life. Again, thanks to all the subscribers. I really appreciate y'all. And Roxy Glendon, September 6th. Like, share, comment, subscribe. All right, peace.